Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion and this is Pumpkin Pie Chapstick. Today is May 21st. I haven't filmed since my first look with this palette. Went through another series of migraines, but I will update you on that in my 2-month Botox treatment update video. So it is still working, but I can tell it's kind of wearing off. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Dion. This is the crazy troll nation of YouTube, where I forget that I have an intro to do sometimes. I did just kind of wake up, but not really. I laid down about 6 o'clock because I was sleepy, but I didn't really fall asleep. So finally at like 10 o'clock, I said I might as well just get up. And so I didn't even do skincare because I just laid down like 3-4 hours ago. And my decision is when I get sleepy, I'll just lay down. So this is not going to stay on my face. And so I didn't want to do full skincare, well, wash my face and do full skincare just to take it off. So I call this the Crazy Troll Nation again because I just digressed and didn't even get to my intro. That was the Fenty primer and the Fenty foundation. My brows are done with the Fenty Brow MVP in deep black. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation because I skip around in my sentences a lot. Not intentionally. My brain just moves faster than my mouth does. The Crazy Troll Nation. Okay, let me focus. Having fun on your channel and enjoying the channels that you watch. That's the crazy part. Just having a ball. If you've been here for a little while, you know that I'm wacky. I say it's part of my charm. You let me know if it's charming or annoying. But I think you guys like it because you're still here. And I don't think it's that my makeup skills are like all of that. I mean, I think they're okay sometimes, but I don't think like all of you are staying just because of the makeup. So, but yeah, having fun on your channel, enjoying the channels that you watch. That's the crazy part. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Wear whatever you want to wear. Use whatever tool you want to use. Apply it however you want to. Use whatever techniques you want to use. And just rock it. And know that you look good. And beneath all of that, here at the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube, we are about self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features. Enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. That was 2 pumps of each, and we have used it, and I am scraping. I'm not going to do the rest of the face until afterwards. I may revisit some older things, not sure yet, but if I do, I'll just edit that out of the video and it'll be in the flat lay that I put on Instagram. I'm trying to get used to doing that. Let me finish the intro, girl. I do curse on my channel sometimes because I do curse in real life sometimes. And so this is what you really get. I'm not always this wacky though, but for the most part, I am always a tad off. So yeah, so thank you for being here. I do have a few new subscribers. I see you and I appreciate you. Those who have returned and have been returning, you are my troll kin, and you know I appreciate you. And for this video, we are going to, as I said, revisit, not even revisit because it's new, fairly new. It's from the Wildflower palette. I picked out the 6 shades that I wanted. I still didn't edit that video, and it's an hour, but it'll probably be like 30 minutes by the time I do edit it. And I am going to put somewhere in that video, and I think I mentioned it, I'm not even sure what the shades are, but in case you missed it, I'm going to tell you what the descriptions are. This is Untamed. This is described as a metallic trichrome that shifts lilac to green to gold. This shade here. So I'm not seeing the green, unless that's the green. I'm seeing some gold, and I'm definitely seeing the lilac. This is Wilted, and this is, well, all of these 5 are mattes. This is the light cool toned beige. Thorn, UV reactive neon pink. Cyanus, this is a medium amethyst. This here is Foxglove, medium deep violet. And this is Nightshade, very deep navy blue. So that's how these shades are described, and they are described perfect. And I'm glad that they have the descriptions because I'm not good at describing them. I'd be like pink, purple, tan, beige. And and one with a shift. So that would be it. I'm going to prime my eye, and then we're going to come back and get started with this look. Flat shader brush, which actually says it's a blending brush. This is a Fenty 230, and we're going to go into Untamed, and we're going to put this on the first portion of the lid because we have just got to see, there's the gold. Ooh, we have got to see, I'm getting fallout already. We have got to see this on the lid. I'm going to take this highlighter brush just to see if the fallout wipes away, and it does not. My face is not quite dried down yet either. Y'all, this, we'll add stuff later to try to deal with that. But that's the first shade. Oh my, this is pretty. One of those light ethereal looks that y'all know y'all love. That's not my preference, but I do think they're pretty. And there is a time and a place for it. And as you see, it was like super easy. Like that took hardly any time to lay this shade down on top of primer, and you see the colors, the shifts show up. Wow. We're going to take a rounded, I don't know what kind of brush to call it. This is a Scott Barnes number 63, and we're going to go into Nightshade. That's the one shade that we did not use before, and I am coating both sides of the brush and tapping off because pointy side down. We're going to put this over there, and we're just going to come over here pointy side down because there's shadow already on the brush. So we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to get the shape that I think I want, and already I'm not. And I do have a freckle right there that's already throwing me off because it's making me think the shadow's patchy, which is not. So I'm going to finish this up, but before I move back over here, I am going to just turn my wrist and let the brush move up Nightshade slightly over into the crease. This could be your look. Put something on lower lash line, mascara, you can be done. This was so friggin' easy. These shades, y'all. And I'm loving how Untamed mixed with Nightshade, like right here, is creating like a greenish type gradient, whereas as you see, it was deep when I first tapped it on. It was that deep blue, but I am loving the mixture that is giving us. This is I think a fan brush. I don't know what this is called, but this is the Scott Barnes number 61. And we're going to take Cyanus as our transition shade. I thought to do Thorn, but I said, you know what, let's just keep it light and simple today for this look. And we're going to tap that actually right here. And we're going to meet where this shade, actually we're just going to take it all the way over because it is a light shade, and I am tapping lightly, and we're not going to do any blending. We're going to let, the tapping blend it out. This is so easy. I am really liking this palette a lot more than I thought I was because all of these shades work. That's one of the joys for me in buying a pre-made palette, is that I know the shades are going to work. And even though this is not pre-made, 6 of the shades are from that palette. So yes, it makes sense that they would work. This is done. Look at, we're going to take 2 NYX retractable eyeliners. This one is in gray, and this one is deep blue. Gray is going to go on the first half of the lower lash line, and the deep blue is going to go on the second half of the lower lash line. We're going to take 2 very thick smudger brushes, and it does say traveled anger. It's not angry. It says travel angled smudge, and these are Scott Barnes travel brushes on the first half of the lid. I chose this brush because it is thick and it's going to automatically blow out the shadow when I lay it down. First half of the lid, we're going into Untamed, and so I am just pressing. Ooh. And we're just going to press. Oh my. So you see what I mean, how it blows it down. Just pressing it because the brush is wide. And we're going to take the clean one and go into, now I'm thinking we should do this one instead of this one. But we're going to do this one, Nightshade. So we're just using both the lid shades on our lower lash line. We're going to take a rounded pencil brush. This is an Esom number something I can't see, V31. And we're going to go into this shade here, which is Wilted. And so we're just going to turn the brush as we go. And we are just going to lightly just bring this underneath. What we're going to do for cleanup, we're going to just take a little bit of the Fenty foundation and just that little tiny bit right there. And we're going to dab that first. I should probably take a smaller brush, right? This was the Lethal Foundation brush. This is just a fluffy shader brush, and this one is, actually does say shader brush, and this is from Dose of Color. So we're just going to pick up just a little bit, and we're going to put that there. We're going to take the rest of it, and we're going to put this everywhere where there is fallout. So we're just going to pat this in to cover up the fallout, and then we're going to set the face and put on some other stuff, and then we'll come back and finish the eyes. Isn't this nice though? Like, look, this eye look was so easy, and the shift in this shade. For eyeliner, we're going to be funky in a good way. We're going to take the Inglot AMC eyeliner gel liner, and the shade, it doesn't say the shade, but it's number 79, and it's the red one. So we're going for it. Really what I should do is take Slate, this shade. This would make more sense, right? But we're going to do red. So we're going to troll it out just a little bit, even though this is a light ethereal look. And now that I'm rethinking it, I do want to use Slate, but we're going to use this one. We're just going to be funky. And then we're going to take the Lancome Sills Booster XL Mascara Primer, top and bottom lashes, and MAC Stack Mascara in Viva Violet on top and bottom lashes. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for a lip that I am super excited about. We'll be right back. I'll get it right one day, but today ain't that day. I don't even know what to say. Hashtag I tried it. I was loving how the top lash line looked, and then I'm like, oh, where can I put another line? And I'm wondering if I should connect them at least, y'all. That look even worse. In true troll fashion, we tripled down. More like quadrupled down. Woo, child, as my dad would say. It started out so well and it was so ethereal and pretty. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna wipe off some chapstick. Oh, I got to do the mascara. I feel like I shouldn't even do, this eye is tearing. I feel like I shouldn't even do anything else to the eyes, like seriously, because this is just like, whoa. It started out so well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take that same brush that we used for Wilted, and we're going to take this just to see if I can tone this down some. I'm going to take this brush and we're going to go into Thorn. And we're going to trace that because Wilted did just erase it, and this red is very vibrant, and I did want it to connect with the upper corner. So we did wipe off some of the chapstick. We are going to use Sea Queen because I'm thinking this would have tied in with the blue, even though you don't see a lot of the blue. And then we're going to top it with Ellie Angelic, a Pat McGrath gloss, and as you can see, it is some type of chrome. So we're going to do that and come back and you will see the finished look. This is our finished look. Y'all, this liner though is funky, but it's a little over the line of too much for me. This side I kind of like, so I was able to get a point. This side is just way out there. Something I'll need to practice or just never do again. The cheek situation, yo, I am digging it. And I'm like, what happened? Because I had used these products before and I was just like, no. But I'm digging it. So when I do pictures, you're not going to see this side. You'll see this and you'll see this, and that'll be it. We will come back and do the third look with this little 6-pan palette, and we're not going to do too much, because again, I should have stopped the liner just on the upper lash line. That's where I should have stopped, because that was still like super pretty. And even this angle on this side is kind of like, okay, almost too much, but you know, we can make it work. I mean, you know, but yeah, I should have stopped. And it's a learning lesson. So that's why I try to encourage you all to just experiment with makeup. And when it comes out and you still don't like it, you double down, you quadruple down, and it's still just like, okay, no, look at it and figure out, where should I have stopped? I do like the double wing part, but this, when I tried to do the graphic stuff, like that still just didn't work. And I will keep practicing graphic liner. And what I should have probably did was just ran a line of red just under my brow bone. That's what I should have probably did. But we're going to keep experimenting with it, trying new things. I should have had on my lab coat, right? And so that's the lesson for today. When you do something you don't quite like it, just figure out where you should have stopped. And I should have just stopped just on the red on the upper lash line, or just used slate on the upper lash line and left it at that. I do really like the lip. See, Queen is growing on me because it does serve a purpose, and I do like it with Ellie Angelic on top, because I did only just put it in the center. So this is this look, and this cheek though, and the contour, I'm digging it. You'll see me in a few seconds with the third look. Today is May 23rd, and this is Cotton Candy Chapstick. I picked this up at random. I learned something today. Like, it really just sunk into my head today. As I said, today is May 22nd, and today aired my Beauty and the Soul challenge, and I was talking about why I do busted looks. Well, not why I do them, but why I post them. And something I did in that video is what made it click for me. I did liner. I did graphic liner under here, and it didn't turn out right. I think I made it work just adding other stuff. But looking at that video and thinking of the one I did yesterday, trying to do graphic liner under here, what I learned was, don't do graphic liner under here unless I just do like a triple wing and just put like one line right here. But don't try to bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Keep my graphics up top. And then I thought about, well, why was I so insistent on doing graphic lines under here? And what I realized is, because I always have so much going on my lid with like 3, 4, 5 different shadows, when I think about where to put another line, a graphic liner, a liner color that's going to contrast against what's going on, my thought is, it's already a lot going on, put it down here. So that's why. So I've learned, keep the graphics up top and maybe just do more simple looks and not have, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades on the lid. And I do think doing an ethereal look would be better for just running a line somewhere up top. So that's something that I learned. And that's why I watch my own videos, because I'm watching it objectively. And so I am glad that I finally figured that out. Same base face as yesterday, except yesterday we used the Fenty Primer Foundation. Today we used the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and, the Rare Beauty Foundation. Everything else is the same. And this cheek situation, let's just talk about it for a second. These are items that I had in my Macari store. I disassembled some of my bundles to list things individually. And I'm like, you know what? This Cupid palette that I had, I used it, I think, once. And I'm like, no, it didn't work. But I was looking at it thinking, maybe if I layer or something. And so what I did was, I also was second guessing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Off the Costa Rica palette, and I tried this once, and these shades are not my shades. This is more like a contour. This is a nice highlighter, but it's not the smooth formula that I prefer. As far as the look though, it is a subtle highlighter, which I like, but the formula I was just like, and this was just orange. So I was just like, this is not for me. or pink, whatever color that is. But I was like, this is not for me. So what I did yesterday, this is a cream. I put this on. Then I went into this palette and I tapped this on top of it. And I was like, oh. And I use this as a contour. So that's this shading that you see here and coming down here. And I do always take the brush and put it like right here too. So that's what you see in the corners of my forehead and swept across and the tip of my nose. And then I went back to this palette, put on the highlighter, and just because this was in here, then I topped it with this. And I was like, this? What? And so I think what I'm learning is that it does help to revisit things and to layer with other things versus just using this by itself, not liking it. When I tried this once, I'm like, I didn't like it. And there is an explanation why I've been trying new things lately. And if you know, you know. And so that's what's going on. And this is really, I think this is bomb. I do. And I'm loving it. So I'm glad that I did try those again. So if y'all want to sleep on my Macari purchases, y'all, I might just keep shopping my store. So my lids are primed with the Fenty eyeshadow primer, and my lids are sticky. That's why I was doing like this. And I was thinking of what the third look was going to be. And I thought, you know, since when we used Thorn, we covered it up. So we're going to use Thorn. We're going to use this again, of course. So this is going to go on the first portion of the lid. This is going to go on the second portion of the lid. I think transition, but I also want to put this as transition again. And I'm not sure about lower line because this may be too dark. I don't want to do what I did yesterday. Hashtag team too much, hashtag troll tried it, hashtag troll just stop and put the makeup brushes down. Please. So we're not going to do that today. But I did, when I wrote down the notes, the eyeshadow placement, I did tweak it. And so I am either just going to use the red liner or use Slate as a liner. Same shadow placement, but the red liner or Slate as a liner, and just do a wing and leave it at that. Don't do all the other stuff. And maybe if I use the red liner, just to run a red line just under my brow. So that's how I tweaked that one for my notes, because everything was fine until you saw it. You synced it. You synced it. So taking this brush, it's a dense shader brush, going into Untamed. This shadow does give fallout regardless of if you pat or swipe. I was watching Theresa's her video, her review of this, well, the Wildflower palette, and I realized what word I always want to say when I go to say Wildflower. I have to slow myself down because I want to say Wildfire, and so that hesitation is me knowing what I'm about to say is not what I want to say, which is Wildflower. And she did say the shimmers in that palette, the multi-chrome, dual chromes in that palette, you were going to get fallout. Well, she calls it glitter bukkake, which means it's a lot of fallout. And I was glad to hear her say that, because sometimes with me it is user error, or it's the brush, or it's my technique. But to hear her say that, I'm like, okay, it's not me this time. Maybe last time and maybe next time, but not this time. And her critique of this shadow, I believe this is the only one that's supposed to be a trio chrome. And she said she would prefer if they had just said it was a dual chrome, because she said you struggle to see like the green shift. But right now, like I see green right here, and I see lavender here, well, the lilac here. And then when I turn, I do see some gold right here. So I do see all three of the shifts. She was saying as a trio chrome, I believe she pronounced it trichrome though. She said it was not the most, I forget the way she said it, but basically what she was saying is you don't see all three of the shifts, And even if you think you see it, it's like, okay, do I really see it? Is it really there? Like, where'd it go? And so for her, she said they should have probably labeled it as just a dual chrome, because you definitely see the two different colors. Even right now, you see the green and the lilac, and it is gorgeous. So I'm not going to blend too much because I don't want to get a lot of fallout. And looking in the mirror from the palette, I do just have just a teeny tiny bit. And I do have a full face on, powdered down and everything. And I thought I probably shouldn't have did that because I might need to add concealer later to clean up. And so I am pretty happy that it's not a lot of fallout. So the last 2 times I used this shade, it was a lot of fallout. So now we're going to take, this is an angled shader brush, I guess. We're going to go in the Thorn. I'm trying to get used to just saying the type of brush versus the name of the brush, because it is just about the type of brush, even though you can use whatever tools you want to use. But this is just what I like, because pointy side down, I can get here and hopefully keep a sharp shape, because I have a tendency to round out my shadows because my eyes are round. So it's just like skirt, because that's how my eyes are shaped. So, and that's something I have to be intentional to do, to not have a rounded shape. I have to be very intentional, and this brush helps me to do that. But also doing double liner like I've been doing lately, that kind of camouflages and gives me the shape that I'm going for too, because the liner takes over that shape. Shout out to Fossil Inspiration. I will tag her in this video. Does she do videos? I know she does a lot on Instagram. I will put her Instagram below. Does she do videos? I want to say yes. When I did one of my side-by-side foundation comparisons, she was saying, you know, make sure you test it, you know, in natural light and sunlight, because sometimes stuff will look good sitting here in front of the cameras, well, my phone, and in front of these lights, but then when you go outside, it looks different. And that was a really good point. And I have done that, and this looks really good on me outside as well as inside in front of these lights, and it doesn't oxidize much. But if I apply too much, the undertone looks a little bit off, because the undertone gets stronger the more I apply. So I just have to be careful to just not apply too much. But that was a really good point. And that was my issue when I was matched to the Fenty 310 and the Fenty 330. It would look good sitting inside, but when I went outside, it would look, you know, more red. It would oxidize. Whereas the 335, and I think it was the undertone of it, the 335, it looks the same indoors as it does outdoors, and it doesn't oxidize. Okay, let me back up. It does, because when I first put it on, it looks a little stark, but then as it dries down, it's perfect. And once it fully dries down, this is the brush from Untamed. Once it's fully dried down, it doesn't change after that, whether I'm indoors or outdoors. And so that's why I do like that foundation. And I find for the Estee Lauder, that stays the same too. But that was a really good point. And I have heard years ago, Robert Welsh, he was saying how because of all of his lights, when he does videos, he wears a foundation shade that's like 2 to 3 shades darker than if he was just doing his makeup to go out somewhere, because of all the lights will wash everything out. And so that's something to consider too, is when you try a foundation, look at it in different lighting. We're going to sweep the pink inward versus taking the gold outward, because I just need more color on my lid. I have an experiment coming up that I'm going to do, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be challenging for me. I will be wearing my lab coat, and I will tell you about that another time. And some of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, those lips are beautiful. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I like it, but it's not me. I'm liking this better, but I'm wanting more of a blend like how we did before, but then we lost some of the pink. So we're going to feather the pink inward. Am I getting fallout? It's a little bit, not a lot. We're going to take a stutter. We're going to take a blunt blending brush, and we're going to go into this shade here. I'm hoping that doesn't take color away. So So we went just straight in, and we're going to just run this right along the top. I am going to take, this is Wilted. We are going to take Cyanus also as our transition. I just wanted to get somewhat of a blend up here going before we went in with that light purple shade. We're going to take this one. This is a tapered blending brush. So this was the blunt one, and this is the tapered one. This just places and blends. This one allows me more precision because it has the pointy tip. And so depending on what I want, which right now I want more control, and we are still just going to go in with the tip of the brush and just put the tip right on the top edge of those lid shades. We're not going to do team too much today because we had enough of that yesterday, and it won the trophy, took home all the prizes. This is NYX Retractable Eyeliner in gold. We're going to put on lower lash line. We're going to take a short, stubby, dense eyeliner brush. I want some more color. We're going to take, yeah, this one. This one is Foxglove. So we're tapping straight in, and we are going to put that on our lower lash line. And we are going to bring that up here. That is all that we are going to use from the palette. We're going to take Midnight Snack. This is MAC Fluid Line, and it is a gray. So we're not even being funky today. Of course, I wanted to do the red, but then I thought, will it be too much red with the pink? And then I thought about other colors, and I said, you know what? Let me just have a snack. So we're going to put this on. This is an angled eyeliner brush. We're going to take Fenty's Miss Merlot because my label tells me that this one and Ivy League expire this month. So I am just getting some more use out of them. We're going to take the Hourglass powder, and the shade is Radiant Light. This one here in the middle, and this is a brush we use for our setting powder. So we're going to use this, and we're going to press this under here because this does help camouflage some of my under eye discoloration. So the eyes are done. What are we going to do for a lip? That's the question. Let me figure this out. I'm going to put on this Pat McGrath. I think it's a liquid lipstick. Where did I even get this from? Oh, this was in a subscription box, one of my choices. This is Flesh number 3. I don't even remember if I used this yet. We're going to wipe off some chapstick. I don't know, y'all. Ugh. I love how it feels. I do not like the color. What am I going to do? We're going to take NARS Power Matte Rock With You. And this is the dupe for the Fenty Stunner Underdog. And I know that because my label says so. And we're going to just do like an ombre type lip thing. So we'll be right back because I cannot talk and do this. Did we get it with the lip? Okay, so that's the other thing we learned. So along with not bringing graphic liner under here, just do something up top. When we're doing an ombre look, if it's a lipstick color I don't like, because this on its own, it may have served the purpose, but I was just like, that is not me. But doing an ombre look with a deeper, yeah. What I think I'm gonna start doing too, if I remember, is list the products below that I'm using, even though it's not about the products. And so that's kind of my hesitation with that. If you wanted to get jiggy with it, you can then put a clear gloss on top of this. And I do have one, but I'm thinking we need to stop right now. And no lipstick on my teeth. This is our finished look. Look number 3. This is what we have. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think of these looks. Let me know what you think of the lessons that I learned, particularly with, you know, the graphic liner thing. And let me know what you think of these shadows, these shades. I am a little kind of like, because I thought this was going to show up different paired with this one. Thank you for being here. I know I'm kind of just going off on a tangent. So this is like just a quick comparison between 6 shades in the Wildflower palette and Theresa's Dead palette. So even though they're not dupes, you know, we have a purple. We have, even though it's a lot, well, it's different, but when you apply it, is it going to be that different? And these 2 shades, which looked more similar on its own when you look at this next to what's on my eye. That is what it looks like versus it being, I am so awkward, versus it being this shade on my eye. You see what I'm saying? Like, which one does it look like? To me, it looks like it would be this one. Right? Right. Am I right? Am I right? And this pink, even though it's different, blended out or layered, it could be that one. So if you want to see a side by side using the shades that are similar, let me know. And how can I hold this one to see? I can't do it. This shade and this one in the middle down here. And they are different, but it's definitely, in my eye, the same vibe. I'm gonna go, but let me know if you want to see a side by side, one palette on one eye, one on the other eye. If so, I will gladly do that. Thank you for bearing with me through the madness of these looks, particularly look number 2. So I think we redeemed ourselves. The first look, I was like, yeah. The second look, yeah, until I crossed the line. And this is the third look. And so I am digging it. It's just still something about this transition area that I'm just not quite feeling. Like this side, I'm like, yeah, but something over here is just looking not right. And it's because I did it. I'm the one that did this. So I'm going to go because I'm babbling. Thank you for being here. Let me know your thoughts below. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Lots of links down below, stuff for you to look at. Stuff will be popping up for you to click on to watch. And thank you for being here, and you will see me in the next video.